All right, guys, go ahead.
Well, Harsin, it seems like some of the things you did tonight to get the win were some of the things that maybe you were trying to address in the bye week, get the run game, O-line seemed to improve. How good did the win feel being able to do some of those things that it seems like you were trying to correct?
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. One, I'm really proud of our guys over the last couple of weeks, just coming off the game that we did, going back out there, going to work, and working on the same exact things we work on every single week. I mean, this is not just because we lose a game and win a game doesn't mean that we're not working on things. I think that's crazy. And what we did is we went back and we focused on what we do in practice. We focused on how we practice. We focused on why we were good in practice. And then we talked about how about we just carry over what we do in practice to the game. Simple as that. That was really what the whole message this week was. We're going to play faster up front on the O-line. We're going to play more physical because the first practice we had when we came back was fast and physical. And, it's amazing when you do that and you're playing this game. If you just play fast and physical and you play like you practice and you play loose and you play doing the right assignments, it's going to show up when you go out there. So we didn't make – what we did is we re-emphasized things that we already emphasized and tried to show our guys why it's so important and to do it for 4 quarters. So, I'm just proud of our guys that they trusted that process and went out there and actually did it tonight. We ran the ball better. We had a turnover early in the game. We overcame that. And, it's one of those, you have a turnover early, you're on the road, now what's going to happen? I mean, it's just the silly emotions that we all go through. Well, what you do is you respond. You show back up in the next play and you go down there and you try to find a way to score. It's really that simple. And I'm trying to get our guys to understand when they're young, that's really all it is. It's not complicated. I thought defensively we played well. Keikoa's interception was a major momentum changer. Leighton's interception towards the end of the game when he went out and you don't know if he's coming back in, and all of a sudden he's back in, he's got the ball, and he said it felt really good to carry the ball again, and he looked good with it. So, these guys showed up tonight. They played extremely hard. They played for 4 quarters. They wanted to win, which they've wanted to win in every single game we played, and they executed better. I thought our coaches did a very good job with their planning. I thought the way that they called the game and how we had to go out there and execute it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good tonight, and the communication was pretty good. So overall, we got a win on the road, our first one. We're happy about that, and we're going to build from this. We got 24 hours to enjoy it, and then we'll go back to work on Sunday, and then that will be the first practice towards San Diego State and finding a way to beat them.
You had that stretch late in the second quarter where you got the field goal and then you got a stop and then you had that long drive to get the touchdown right before half. How big was that touchdown? Obviously Brett's first, and then Monster, gets his first career, I believe. It kind of seemed like a big momentum, switch there.
Yeah, it was. One is you get a chance to score before halftime because you're not going to get that possession, and you already turned over the ball in your first possession. So that's big. So that one right there, just overall in the game, was extremely big for us going into halftime. For Brett and Sean, those 2 guys to connect on a play, I thought that was big. That was something that I know they all were working on last week. Not that play in particular, but just being, they're just working on honing their craft and being better in their game. And that was a big one. I was very happy for Brett getting a touchdown, very happy for Sean being able to catch a really tough ball, which he's capable of doing. And, right then and there, it's one of those things, and I thought as they came off the field, there's a nod of like, okay, this is what we're capable of doing right here, and they executed it, and that's really the confidence that you want to have as a player. So big momentum that way coming out, going into halftime. That's where I thought our guys, the mindset was great. 0-0 for us when we come back out, and then they started to go play their best 30 minutes of football was the plan.
I think you guys finished with like 130 passing yards in this game.
It
seemed like very much a kind of, get back to the basics and be physical and pound the ball and hold on to the ball and not do anything dumb and, let your defense take care of things. I mean, was that the approach coming in, or did it just sort of play out that direction?
Well, I think, one, it was to run the ball. That was the approach that way. Number two, yeah, we were concerned about their coverage and what they do. Number 4 in particular. You know, I know at the end of the game, and he's a tremendous player, and he thought we'd throw the ball a little more towards him. And, you know, that guy's, that's what you do, and he's a good football player. He's, you know, we wanted to make sure that we were being putting the ball in the right position, you know, on the right side of the field where we wanted to be. But the ultimate goal was to run it. That was the bottom line. Run it. Let's go play great D. You know, when Tanner came out as a quarterback and played, you know, that guy, he makes you nervous because he's a competitor and he can throw it. And I thought, you know, for them, Tanner, I thought he was, you know, I thought he played hard. I mean, he's a heck of a competitor and a guy that will go out there and you can see he can sling it. You know, I know he's obviously hampered in you know, what he's able to do, but I thought our defense against a really good quarterback played really well tonight, and having a couple turnovers in there, maybe another one that was questionable that we probably had a chance of getting, and you know, it's just one of those things. I don't get it, you know, but I don't see all the views. I see what I see out there, and I see it real time, and there was opportunities I thought to have create another turnover that way, but. And the field position, I don't know what it was, but I think we had to have gotten the field position battle in this game, which for special teams, when we do that, we're usually pretty successful.
With the last 2 games, you know, here losing last week, being 2-2, how much did you guys just need a win any way you could get it, and how nice confidence-wise, momentum-wise to get that going into next week?
Well, I think you always need a win. Number one, you know, you go back and we watched our Washington State game. I thought we were fast and physical in that game. And there was things in there that we needed to overcome, and we learned from that. But coming off the game prior to this, you know, there was a lot of things in there that we looked at, and you're able to go have a little bit of time to break it all down, and you can watch certain things that you can't really watch with the schedule we played and the Thursday game and so on. You're just getting on to the next game as fast as you can. And those things, some things stood out, and we corrected them. And they were really, I wouldn't say major things, just little things. But you get to point them out, and it's one of those when guys see it and everybody sees it, it's like, okay, you know, that's really that simple. And you know what, our guys, yeah, they always want to win. I think we have great competitors on our team. I think it's just a matter of how do you win? You know, how do you find a way to win? And there's some guys, you know, that some leaders on this team that have helped some of the young guys on our team along the way, and this is how we do it. This is, you know, some of the things that we got to continue to be successful in each game, and it showed up tonight.
What did you think of Alexander's performance tonight, and how big was his physicality?
I thought Alexander, you know, last year we pulled out the clip. We threw a little quick screen out to him. He dipped his shoulder. Number 4, who's a really good player, came up, and he was physical. And you pulled that back out and just said, all right, this is what we're capable of doing. I thought he did that tonight. He put his pads down. I thought he ran violent this evening, and I thought that it showed up. There were some plays that weren't blocked perfectly where he was able to go through there, and you're talking about arm tackles. It's different, a body in a hole versus an arm in a hole. That's a difference. And I thought he was able to break through some shoulders and some arm tackles and get, you know, it might not be that home run, but it's 4 or 5 more, or 3 or 4, or whatever it was. And towards, I think maybe in the third quarter, we had a couple runs in there that were back-to-back, and we got it. You know, the disappointing one really was the 4th down. I thought we had that. You know, I thought we could get movement on it. They did a good job because when you're running the ball, it's a little bit, you know what's going to happen. But that's kind of the best part about it. You know what you're going to do, they know what you're going to do, and you're still able to get it. I think that's in those 4th down situations what we got